Like damn, she wanna afford to touch me. I say I want it, and she got it.
What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's get into TNA Impact from August the 8th, 2024. So we are still building towards Emergence, which is taking place in 3.5 weeks' time. So we're still trying to finalize that card. TNA will probably do maybe about 8 matches. I think that's a little bit too much, but that's just how they have basically been doing things for a minute now. We have some news and notes to go over, but I'll save the towards the end. So we kick the show off with Steph De Lander. So she's looking real sexy and good. She's in a hotel room. She's discussing her upcoming honeymoon with PCO. I don't give a damn about this. This is a waste of time. She wanted, she couldn't decide if she wanted to wear red or black lingerie. Who gives a damn? I mean, it's nice nonetheless, but I really don't care. Moving on. So, the system, they show up. Oh my God. So, they reaffirm their status as the most dominant team in TNA. So, Moose then turns his attention to Nic Nemeth, promising that he'll reclaim the TNA World Heavyweight Championship when the time is right. However, he's focused on Mike Santana, whom he challenges to a match next week. Okay, I really don't care about this. Why? Because the system sucks. I like Mike Santana, but now is not his time. But feuding Mike Santana with the system, not a good idea. Just not. Moving on. So Jonathan Gresham, he's back to his regular happy old self, it seems like. So he's interviewed by Gia Miller, who explains that his absence was due to not feeling well. That's why he's been on television for a little bit. So he begins to speak, but Kushida, he interrupts, and he shows up in the frame. So he refuses to shake Jonathan Gresham's hand, and he walks away. Okay, that's fine, I guess. I don't know why they have stopped the gimmick change of both Kushida and Jonathan Gresham. I don't know. That's kind of weird booking to me. I liked Jonathan Gresham having a darker gimmick. That was kind of cool. But, same thing with Kushida. But who knows where this will go. Moving on. So, Speedball Mike Bailey. He declares himself for the qualifiers for the Ultimate X match at TNA Emergence. And then he states that if he loses his qualifying match, then he would vacate his X Division Championship. Who cares? Who gives a shit? So this leads us into the first match of the night, which was a triple threat X Division qualifying match. Jake something, Trent Seven, and Speedball Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey wins via the Ultimate Weapon. Who cares? It's not really all that important. Jake something, he deserves better, but TNA's not going to push him. For whatever reason, they're not going to push him. I have no idea why. It's dumb if you think about it. It's really dumb. Moving right along. So, Tasha Steelz, she's backstage. She's cutting a promo. She talks about her climb back to the TNA Knockouts World Championship. And she takes the opportunity to talk trash about Giselle Shaw. Giselle Shaw enters into the frame. And then Santino Marella, he does the same thing. So he makes a match for next week. It's going to be the two of them facing off again for a third time. But there's going to be extra referees to enforce a fair match. This is a waste of time. This is stupid. This is just so dumb. I like Tasha Steelz, but she's been really on the low tail of things for about a year and a half now. She was last relevant maybe in 2022 and a little bit early last year. So, I don't know. Moving on. So, Hammerstone, he's back. So, he's backstage. He approaches Santino Marella and he mentions his newfound interest in the X Division. And he calls it cute. Santino responds by saying Hammerstone can consider himself in a qualifier. So, moments later, lame-ass Eric Young, he comes up, and he reminds Hammerstone that they have unfinished business to settle. For the love of the creator, TNA, please stop pushing Eric Young. Please, just enough. Stop pushing Eric Young, stop pushing PCO, and so many others. They're not over. Moving on. Kushida, he defeats Jonathan Gresham. He taps him out with the hoverboard lock. I have no idea why Kushida or Jonathan Gresham, why they kind of reverted back to their original gimmicks. It's odd booking, in my opinion. And I don't know if this thing has an end goal in sight. Like, it's weird to me. I don't get it. I don't. But such is life. Moving on. So, Ace Austin and Chris Bay, a.k.a. the ABC Finesse Club or whatever they're called, they address the TNA crowd. So, they talk about what it means to be the TNA World Tag Team Championships. And then they pose the question, who's next? So Speedball, he comes into play. He thanks people. He thanks ABC for helping him become the best, and then he asks them for the honor of joining the X Division qualifying matches, and they said that they'll think about it. Okay, that's fine. Do I care? Not really. We'll see where this all leads, I guess. Moving on. So Steph De Lander is in a hot tub. So she dials up PCO on his cell phone. She tries to call him, but it goes straight to voicemail. Who gives a damn? This is still stupid. I don't understand what the deal is. I don't get why TNA still continues to push PCO. It's just dumb at this point. Moving right along. So Jordynne Grace, she had an open challenge. Rosemary was the one who answered the open challenge. And it was for the TNA World Knockouts Championship. It was which led to a no contest because Ash by Elegance and her personal concierge, George Iceman, showed up and they crashed the party. I believe Ash used a kendo stick to beat up both Jordynne Grace and Rosemary. So this is fine, but I see where this is going because this is probably going to lead to a triple threat match at Emergence, like I had said last week in my review. It's basically a no-brainer at this point. So why wouldn't it happen? Jordynne Grace, I know she's ready to leave TNA. I know she is. TNA really has to rebuild that Knockouts division once Jordynne Grace is gone. I have no idea who could even fill her shoes when she leaves TNA in January. I have no idea. I can tell you this, TNA is going to have to really begin to invest into some new women, like real quick, fast, in a hurry. Like, they need to bring in Mandy Rose and Lacey Evans and Xia Li, maybe Beth Phoenix if they can afford her, but they've got to bring in some names. They've got to. Continuing on. So, Bound for Glory is going to take place on October 26th, which is on a Saturday. So, basically, Bound for Glory is going to be in Detroit, which is fun. That's fine. They haven't been in the Detroit area in a minute, since like 06, so that's cool. That's interesting. So, nice. Really good stuff there. I was thinking Bound for Glory would be in maybe overseas, maybe. But that might happen in 2025 or in 2026. Who knows? But this is good. Makes sense. Moving right along. So Josh Alexander, he comes out next. He finally addresses why he betrayed Joe Hendry, why he turned heel. He explains his actions for doing that shit. So Josh Alexander, he addresses Nic Nemeth, talking trash about being the face and standard of TNA wrestling, and goes on to call Nic Nemeth a transitional champion. So Nic Nemeth, he comes out, he hits the ring, he takes the mic, and then he smashes it in Josh Alexander's face, and he hits him with a super kick. And then he gets on the mic again and declares that he's a fighting champion, and that if Josh wants a match, he's got it next week on TNA Impact. And he said that he's going to end Josh Alexander. So this is fine. I actually like this. Great stuff here. Moving on. So Santino Marella's backstage with Frankie Kazarian. So before that took place, Santino announces that Josh Alexander is going to face Nic Nemeth for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship next week. So lame-ass Frankie Kazarian shows up, claiming that the title shot should be his. Santino responds by saying Kazarian isn't even in the conversation, but since Nic Nemeth is his fighting champion, Kazarian will get his chance, and Kazarian says that he's going to make his own chance. So that lets me know right there it's probably going to be a triple threat match at Emergence. I'm pretty sure Frankie Kazarian's going to cost Nic Nemeth and Josh Alexander. He's going to, take two birds out with one stone, basically, so to speak. It's predictable as shit, so who gives a damn? Moving on. So Zachary Wentz, he qualifies for the Ultimate X Max. So he defeated Casey Navarro, who used to wrestle for NXT Black and Gold. So I'm glad that he's with TNA. And Dante Chen, he made his presence known. So that's cool. So that's fine. Hopefully TNA can sign Casey Navarro. Hopefully. But Zachary Wentz wins. So nice stuff there. Moving on. So Steph De Lander, she's sitting in her hotel room. There's a knock on the door. It's Matt Cardona, who says they have bookings and money to be made. So Steph De Lander promptly shuts the door in his face. So then the scene cuts to PCO. He's being held by two guys. And then Matt Cardona viciously stomps on his head. That's fine, I guess. Who gives a damn? Moving on. So the main event of the evening was Joe Hendry versus Wolfgang from Gallus from NXT. So Joe Hendry, he comes out, he gets on the mic. He reminisces about their time together in Scotland and how he came to NXT and made Gallus believe. Joe Hendry then reminds Wolfgang that he hasn't forgotten how Wolfgang held him down so Joe Coffey could smash him with a guitar. And so Joe Hendry then jumps Wolfgang. So Joe Hendry defeats Wolfgang via the standing ovation chokeslam for the 1, 2, 3. And that was the main event. So that's fine. It makes perfect sense. Continuing on, so the show goes off the air with a parking lot brawl between Mike Santana and the System. Who cares? This is whack. This is lame as fuck. But it is what it is. So TNA was okay, but it could be better. Again, we still have time to build towards Emergence. They should announce some more matches, basically. Hopefully for Emergence we do get some debuts, but we'll see how all that plays out. So let's get into the news and notes for TNA. Note 1. Mustafa Ali is no longer with TNA for whatever reason. He's done with the promotion. I don't know where Mustafa Ali will go. He might go to New Japan. He might just do the Matt Cardona thing and just show up on the indies and do that for a while. He could try to go to AEW, but that's gonna not probably end well for him because AEW is looking to bring in Ricochet and probably bring in Shane McMahon, basically. So that wouldn't be a good idea. Or he could also try to go back to WWE, namely NXT, but we'll see how things play out on that end. We wish him all the best. Mustafa Ali was solid in TNA. Moving on. Final note. So Scott D'Amore, he has a new wrestling promotion. It's called Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. And this is actually good. This is great. I love this because a lot of TNA stars that I don't like and care for are looking to go to that promotion, which is great. This is excellent. So we could get rid of Josh Alexander. We can get rid of Moose, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, PCO. And the list goes on and on and on. Frankie Kazarian, Eric Young, Diener. So this is excellent. So hopefully that can be a success. And I'm pretty sure the guys and girls that are upset that Scott D'Amore is no longer there, they'll probably jump ship to work for him again when their contracts are up with TNA. And I'm down for it. This actually makes perfect sense. This is great. And this could allow for TNA to completely revamp themselves. Jinder Mahal is supposed to be wrestling for Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. So they're going to be doing a show pretty soon, probably in the next little bit. So we'll see how that all plays out. So good stuff there. Again, TNA was okay. I just hope that for the remainder of the year, going into next year, we get some debuts and surprises. But what did you guys think of TNA? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.